Today we're taking a look at Avalanche's AVAX coin, performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see AVAX go in the near future. Let's get into it. Welcome back into Avalanche's AVAX coin, guys. If you'd like to buy AVAX or want some free Bitcoin, there are a couple of links down in the description of today's video. But unfortunately, as you can see, the value of AVAX has dropped. And the reason for that is because of, well, quite simply, Bitcoin dropping. As we all know, Bitcoin drives the market. And when we see a significant drop or a substantial drop, then that rolls on to every single altcoin. So unfortunately, we have now dipped back down. But what is promising is that we're sitting at $84.71, which remains above our key point of support over here, which is just sitting at about $83. So I'll leave that one right in place there. I'll just extend it out slightly. And I'm going to, of course, extend back out as well our key point of resistance at $100 that we were hoping to break. Unfortunately didn't. You can see the flag pattern certainly formed itself, but unfortunately because of the Bitcoin drop, we didn't break upwards as you would have expected in an uptrend. We did break downwards. These things unfortunately happen, but you can see exactly when that occurred on the 5th of April, breaking down the bottom line at about $94 there and moving downwards. We got to a low of today, below, of course, our key point of resistance here at $83. And that low was a value of $81, but we have promptly since bounced back. And we've really bounced back, in my opinion, due to the fact that we've got this 20-day moving average hanging about here. Sorry, that's the 50-day moving average rather, hanging out here. That is a major point, of course, of support for us. So it's nice to see we've not only bounced off that, but we have come back above into our trading channel over here, above our horizontal point of support. So all in all, looking pretty good there. Let's just remove a few of these lines here, remove a bit of the clutter because that is now basically irrelevant, and see if we can determine anything else. Now there's no gaps or anything like that we can put in place, and it's looking like a bounce is likely. Ideally what we're wanting to see is probably the hourly chart right now, because the bounce has only just occurred. And it looks like we've managed to break through this nice trend line here. And as long as we're able to stay above that, then we should start then moving back in the right direction. Of course, pending Bitcoin bounces as well. That is crucial here. Bitcoin needs to obviously bounce for us to continue upwards. But we may actually be able to put a nice little line in like that. 1, 2, 3 touch points. So effectively, you could say that is a potential trend line now in place. Can we put a top end onto it? I'd say it's hard because there's no like real clear points unless we do, you know, extend this out a bit. Something like that. There we go. Put it in place maybe about there. You can see a touch point over here as well. So this could be an upwards sort of trending channel now, and we may have just tipped the bottom of it. But that is, I think, to be seen. If we are able to continue moving upwards and we start, you know, moving back towards this key horizontal point of resistance at $100, then this channel will effectively be in play. Moving on to the volume, nothing interesting has occurred except for the fact that we have had 2 big dump days, but the volume hasn't been there to reflect a dump. It's just we've had majority sellers, of course, driving the price down. So nothing too sinister from that perspective. We don't have large volumes of sellers. It's just simply the sellers are higher than the buyers and the price is being driven down, but we have hopefully now found a bit of support. Let's have a quick look as well at the RSI, and I think this will be looking good now. It would have been overcooked before, or almost there. We didn't actually hit that overbought range. We got to a peak over here of probably about 66.9, then yet 66.61, 66 twice basically, double topped it, but then this sell-off has basically allowed us to drop down all the way to 44.18, and we're now sitting at 46.49. So all in all, not looking too shabby on the RSI, and we have plenty of room to now start moving upwards. So the movement that I'm expecting now is basically a bounce, and we're going to go up this way. So I'd be suggesting something hopefully in this order of magnitude, maybe with this, I suppose, 20-day moving average here, we may encounter a bit of resistance, but hopefully this is the sort of pattern we should start to see come into play. Plenty of buying room there. Obviously, once again, pending Bitcoin increases in value and bounces as well. Let's have a quick look at the MACD. As you can see, there was a cross. That's probably to be expected given that the volume of sellers was more considerable than the buyers, and of course that's going to drive the averages in a downwards direction. So that 12-day EMA is crossed below the 26-day EMA. If we do have a nice bounce here, I don't expect this to go for a long period. I'd be expecting to see something similar to what we saw over here back in late February, where we had a few red days and then it tapered off and we started, I suppose, getting a bit more flat and moving back into our nice little upwards trend that we've now got in place. So all in all, not looking too bad. My price target at the moment still remains the same. It's going to be $100, but obviously Bitcoin right now is unfortunately playing a big role in the movements of AVAX and of course many other altcoins as well. So we're going to have to be watching that one to make sure what happens, because that is going to be a large affecting factor for the rest of the market. And that wraps up today's analysis on Avalanche's AVAX coin, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's analysis as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.